Edgar, I'd like to ask you about Devontae. He gets over 1,100 yards, over 100 catches. But when you look at his stats throughout the years, I mean, it wasn't his fault. They were not what they used to be. To coach a unicorn like that, as somebody that's just a different level, how how much does that help you coach other wide receivers?
It's very helpful when you have a guy that's that committed, that dedicated, and leads by example. It helps, but our room is filled with quite a few guys that go about it that way, and it's just the standard. It's the mindset. It's how they prepare every day. We take it no different than getting ready for a game. I know we're in OTAs and now we're in our mandatory mini camp, but it's no different as far as the preparation. You know, they take it very serious. Anytime we got an opportunity to step out on the field, we're trying to get better. We're trying to improve.
Watching Trey Tucker as a rookie, it seemed from seeing him on the field that he was kind of getting it more and more as the season went along. What kind of strides have you seen from him?
Continues to improve day by day. So mature for a young player, and he showed that last year. He never really hit a rookie wall. That's something that was impressive with him, just his attitude, his work ethic, and his approach. I mean, he takes it serious as though he wants to be the best, and that's you know, you see it every time he comes into the building. That's his preparation. He stayed in a routine, which was obviously helpful for a rookie player last year, but he continues to show improvements.
How important would you say Jacoby Myers is, not even just in terms of schematically for the offense, but just as a leader to the team and a leader to your group?
Jacoby's another one of those guys. He's a leader. He leads by example. He's vocal. He's been here every day, setting the standard. And I know in our room that's so valuable when you have a number of veteran guys that's their makeup, that's their approach. And like I said, it just makes it a lot easier when young players come in and adapt to our system. This is how we work. This is how we prepare day in and day out. I think it definitely helps with the younger guys.
And obviously Brock Bowers is in your room specifically, but it feels like he's kind of a wide receiver built in a tight end body. What have you seen from Brock Bowers?
Another young guy that's obviously a weapon, explosive, and loves football.
Does it change the job of your room when you've got two tight ends who are such good receivers and route runners as the tight ends are?
The name of the game is to have a lot of different weapons and play a lot of different personnel groupings, and so it helps when you have guys that creates matchup problems for the defense. That's a good thing, and so I think obviously he would our tight ends as a group, they would fit into that category. We hope to make sure we fit into that category as wide receivers. We want to cause problems for people as far as how they're going to match up, how they're going to play us when we jump in 11 or we jump in 12 personnel. So just things like that to create the matchups that we want.
Last season, early in the year, it seemed like Trey Tucker was having some focus drops, kind of moments, but it seemed like he improved with that as the season went on. What went into him getting better in that area?
I think just this was, I'm not going to say an issue, but this was something that, we had more than 2 occasions. And so we just focused on it. What can we do to improve in that area? And that's something that we addressed on the practice field.
What are your first impressions of a couple of the new guys, Michael Gallup and the undrafted kid, Tula Griffin?
I would say with both of those guys, just like the entire group of guys that just entered our program, just kind of get familiar with the system, the playbook. That's the number one thing. Get familiar with the playbook and then how we practice. But Gallup, he has tape. He's a proven vet in this league. He's been extremely productive, and so we're looking for him to continue to build on that.
What does he bring to the mix as far as skill set and how he's helping you guys schematically?
He can create separation. He seems like another guy that can kind of move around as far as play in a number of different positions. But his ability to catch the football, create separation, those things stand out.
back to Jacoby's going into his 6th year, like a guy like that, like how much better can he get? Like when you're at that point in your career, how much can you still improve?
I think for all of us, you know, the goal is to continue to improve and get better in each category. As a route runner, as a blocker, carrying the football, I think that's our goal. We strive to improve day in and day out. I don't think we've ever hit a certain level where we can just take a deep breath. No, we got to continue to push forward and keep improving, and that's how we stay on top. So that's his mindset. I don't think he'll ever be satisfied with where he's at. I think he's one of the best route runners in football, and I think he'll continue to prove that day in and day out.
Obviously, you're a receivers coach, but when you look at the running back core, you have a lot of guys who are pass catchers out of the backfield. You just drafted Lave, and you have Madison in the mirror. You know, even though that's not necessarily your position group, do you ever, you know, lend a hand to those guys just out of experience?
Right now, I'm so focused on my guys in my room, but whenever they have questions, sure, I'll be, you know, happy to chime in. But right now, you know, that's you know, I just try to focus my attention on my room and make sure that we're doing it the right way. But certainly, you know, when those guys have any type of questions, I know they can lean on their coach, you know, and as well as Luke.
Edgar, you know that not all wide receivers are committed to downfield blocking, and that has seemed to become a staple of wide receivers that you coach. Is it a mirror of your toughness, or what is it that you're able to do that a lot of teams struggle with in getting their wide receivers to be involved in plays that they're not part of?
I really think it's just more the culture that AP builds here, where it's about a brotherhood. It's about us taking care of each other and holding each other accountable and being responsible to each other. And so it's more that than anything. I think guys buy into that as far as the same way alignment blocks, pass protection, and the receiver gets open on the route and the quarterback makes the correct throw. It all works together. It's 11 of us. Without all 11, none of us could be successful.
We talked a lot about Jacoby already, but I mean, I think everybody knew coming into last year he was good. Were there areas that maybe he was even better than you expected? I know in the locker room he seems to be a really good presence as well.
Yeah, all around. I mean, his game overall, because he is very versatile, can play all 3 spots at the receiver position. He can block. His run after the catch, obviously, has really good hands, and he can create separation. And that's, you know, those are some of the things you look for. Those are a lot of the characteristics that you look for, or traits that you look for in a receiver.
Has anything jumped out watching this quarterback so far?
I think our guys are doing a great job. I think right now, this camp is important to continue to build on that chemistry. You know, and then that's something that, you know, it happens in the meeting rooms, and then obviously you get a chance to go out on the practice field. It certainly helps when you can kind of, you know, start working on the field. The more we can do that, the better.
You've played or coached under guys Mike Holmgren, Mike McCarthy, John Root, hands on the quarterback. How's it different? How's it tenor different when you have a coach who is a player and a defensive player?
I think it helps. I think it helps because it goes back to the preparation. You can share a lot of experiences, and you can kind of help them along the way, if that makes sense. But I think our guys, they do a phenomenal job as far as the commitment, the work that they put in and day out, the communication, the conversation that we have. It all helps to speed up the process as far as everyone being on the same page.
All good? All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Edgar.